How do you do? Duke Snooks feels it would be a little unkind to present this picture without just a friendly word of warning. We are about to unfold the story of Norman Bates, a motel curator controlled by his overbearing mother. It is one of the strangest tales ever told. It deals with two distinct personalities. I think it will thrill you. It may shock you. It may even horrify you. If anyone feels they do not wish to subject their nerves to such a strain, now is your chance to, we warned you.
Happy Halloween! Our story starts with Marion Crane, a young woman looking for a new start in Phoenix, Arizona.
A creepy cowboy comes in with $40,000 and Marion is tasked of taking the money to the bank so he can buy a house.
She decides to steal the money and drive to California, where in desperation during a storm, she stops at the Bates Motel and meets the soon-to-be infamous Norman Bates.
And they have sandwiches. And we see all of Norman's taxidermy.
After an intense conversation about taxidermy, Marion goes to bed, and then Norman starts peeping through a hole at her as she starts to get undressed and take a shower, and as she's taking a shower...
Marion is killed by Norman's mother, who is not very happy with Norman a little too interested in a young woman.
Norman finds Marion bleeding on the bathroom floor and is distraught. He then quickly covers up for his mother by cleaning up the body and driving it into the swamp with the money.
And then Mr. Detective guy comes, he's like, oh, where's Marion? I want that money. And he gets all stabbed on the stairs and he falls and dies.
Lila, Marion's sister, shows up to the Bates Motel looking for the detective. While she's snooping around, she finds Mother. But Mother has been dead for about 10 years.
Surprise! Here comes Norman, dressed as Mother, with a knife to stab Lila.
As Lila's freaking out, Sam, the guy she's with, comes out and he tackles Norman. They put him on the ground. They call the cops, and the cops send him to jail, where he's there for 20 years, where movie 2 starts.
I love Halloween, but I'm always concerned about the munchy molesters.
It's important to keep an eye out for poison, microplastics, and especially razor blades. That's why I use Razor Repeller. With 100 horsepower and 32 psi, the Razor Repeller makes detecting unwanted goodies a cinch. Simply light up the candy with the base of the tire and drive over it.
Detects razor blades, poison, lasers, bigger lasers, and resurrects Grandma. Available for only 2,000 low payments at $10.31. Grandpa only available in Deluxe Edition.
Drop that chocolate bar! After the 20 years in the asylum, Norman Bates is released. Supposedly, he is now sane.
And after he gets out of jail, he gets a job at a diner. He cleans dishes or something, it doesn't really matter. But he's back in his hometown with the Bates Motel, and he goes back to his old classic house.
While working at the diner, he befriends another young girl named Mary and invites her to come stay with him at the Bates Motel.
As he's staying at the house with Mary, he believes that his mother is back, and he starts to go insane.
Turns out that Mary is the daughter of Lila, who's the sister of Marion, who was killed in the first movie, and they're starting to make Norman think he is crazy, even though he actually isn't, so far.
Dun dun dun.
When bodies start appearing all over the damn place, Norman thinks he might be the guilty party. However, Mary confesses when Norman starts getting calls from his dead mom.
As Norman goes into insanity, Mary dresses up as Norman's mother to try to prove that she was the one making it up. But then the cops show up and kill Mary before she can say anything, and Norman once again has gone insane.
Later, we see Norman making a sandwich for himself and another person. That's when his real mom shows up, where he smacks her on the head with a shovel. Turns out she was the one making all the calls and killing all those people.
Now starts Psycho 3. Norman is back to his old ways. His dead mother is back in the room speaking to him.
We also get introduced to this nun who tries to kill herself, but then she doesn't, and then she makes a run for it, and she ends up staying at the Bates Motel.
Dun dun dun.
She brought along with her a real creepy guy who Norman hires just on the spot to take care of the hotel during the days because he prefers nights.
Norman is back to his ways. He's starting to creep on Maureen. He's using his old people.
And as this is happening, Duke, the hotel worker, then throws out a girl that he's having over into the desert, and she is not happy. And as this happens, Norman has all of his rage and he takes it out on that girl and stabs her right in the chest.
Norman and Maureen are getting along so well they decide to go on a date. But as things are getting hot and heavy, Norman hears Mother a-calling and runs home. That's when Mother comes out again to play, and people start showing up dead once again.
Duke goes snooping and he finds Norman's dead mother. Takes her back to his room and starts making her watch Looney Tunes. Norman's pissed, and he comes in and kills him with Duke's own guitar.
And then Maureen comes into the house where Norman is after taking away Duke's body, and she confesses her love to him. And as this is happening, Norman accidentally pushes her down the stairs and kills her.
Distraught over Maureen's death, Norman goes into Mother's room and stabs her a bunch of times. Thinking he's finally free, the cops show up and take him away forever.
And that was the story of Norman Bates. If you want something awesome to watch this spooky season, check out the Psycho franchise. Jack, you good?
Dude. Did he eat a razor blade?
Nah, bro. He ate nuts.